Extend your landing struts by using girder segments. Don't mind the small rocket, I have cheats on because I don't have time to make a big rocket just to make this tutorial. Now you want to get into a stable orbit. Once you're in a stable orbit, you want to set the moon as your target. And then you get your inclination markers, also known as the ascending node and the descending node. Mine is 0.5 degrees off, so I will correct that by using anti-normal position. When you get close to the ascending node, you're going to start burn until you are at 0 degrees. Remember to always burn when you are close to the node to get the most accurate results. Now you're gonna speed up the time till you see the moon at the horizon. When you see the moon, you're going to burn prograde until you get an encounter with the moon. I see the moon now, so I'm going to start the burn, and you're going to see that the apoapsis is going to rise towards the moon's trajectory. You're going to burn until you get an encounter, and when you get an encounter, your periapsis will be very high off the moon, so you need to keep burning until it comes down to between 10,000 meters and 60,000 meters. Now you're gonna speed up until you get to the encounter, which is the blue ball. Now you're gonna speed up again till you get to the periapsis. I have flight engineer, so I can look at the sidebar and see how long it is till I get to periapsis. So that's why I don't use the map all the time. I can just look at flight engineer. When you're at periapsis, you're going to burn retrograde. If you want to land, you burn retrograde until your periapsis is minus something. That means that you're going to hit the moon. If you're going to orbit, you're going to make sure that the periapsis and the apoapsis, it's roughly at the same height. And if you want to do a bypass, you don't need to do anything. Bypass is mostly just for science experience. So what you do is that when you're on periapsis, you do your science experiments, and then you just speed up time until you float outside the moon's influence, and then you will go into orbit around Kerbin again. When you get close, you want to decrease your speed by burning retrograde, so you don't crash into the surface, basically. The closer you get to the ground, the slower you want to go, because then it's easier and you have more control over your vessel. When you're close to the ground, you want to really speed things down, and you're gonna prepare for landing. The slower you can get when you hit the ground, the better, because you're not gonna bounce as much. Yeah. When you're done doing your science experiments and you want to go home, you want to correct your position to not be facing north, which I am right now, but you want to go a bit further till you have what we call an equatorial burn. When you get to a high apoapsis, it doesn't need to be 176 kilometers, but maybe 70 kilometers. You want to check your map and see if your apoapsis is going towards Kerbin. If it's going towards Kerbin, you're gonna keep burning until you get into the influence of Kerbin, or an orbit around Kerbin. Now we're gonna speed up time till we get to the orbit, or the moon escape, which is the blue dot again. Now we're gonna wait until we get to the apoapsis, and at the apoapsis we're going to burn retrograde. By burning retrograde, we are slowing our speed, and our periapsis will come down to Kerbin, so we will land. And when we are on a trajectory to hit Kerbin, we're gonna speed up time until we get close. Now you wanna do your separating stage, where you separate and you have your heat shield. But since I was lazy, I don't have a heat shield and I don't have a separating stage. So I'm gonna land the whole vessel, which means that I have to slow down till I get to an acceptable speed to land on. You don't need to do this if you're not lazy like me and you have a heat shield. With a heat shield, the atmosphere will slow you down enough so you don't burn up. I didn't really get the landing perfect because I was kind of lazy, but that doesn't really matter because this tutorial is for you. And as long as you get it right, then it's okay. If you have any questions, you can type them in the comments, either on Reddit or in the YouTube comments. Bye.